Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. So in this video I'm going to be restoring this jade plant back to full health, and I'm also going to be trying to make a nice interesting looking bonsai that hopefully looks a bit like a baobab tree. So I'll give you a bit of the background on this jade plant, and I'll explain why I need to take the various steps I'm going to take today to bring it back to health. And then I'll talk about how I'll be doing the pruning in the future. So this jade plant here, as you can see, it's in an incredibly small pot. Jade plants can survive in a small pot for a very long time, but they will become stunted and they will struggle to grow. So this one has been growing very slowly, and it really has got the signs that it's not doing well. The first is it's very long and tall, and it hasn't got many side branches. That's a sign that it's been in a low light environment. So you can see here, it doesn't branch until this height here, and even then it doesn't branch much further until it starts to go up higher. So very poor branching performance, and a long skinny stem is a sign that it hasn't had enough light. And a sign that it's in a far too small a pot, or it doesn't have enough feed, is that it has very few leaves. So you can see it's quite a large plant. This is about a foot tall, but there's very few leaves. There's probably only about 20 or 30 leaves in total. And you can see the leaves are all right at the very top of the stems. All the lower leaves are falling off. As they're falling off, they're drying out completely before falling off. This is a sign that it's low nitrogen, or just generally low in feed in general, but it's mainly a nitrogen deficiency. So you can see there it's really struggling. One or two of these branches actually have signs that they might completely die off, which is a really bad sign that it's very stressed. So there's one or two that only have 2 leaves on them, and there's no active new growth in between those 2 leaves. And that's a sign that that stem might actually abort soon and die. Also, another sign that your jade might be struggling a little bit is if it's sending up some new growth from lower down. This can also be a sign that it's happy. So it doesn't always mean that your plant's not doing well, but if you've got very weak stems at the top and some stronger stems at the bottom, so you can see this one at the back here, it's quite a strong stem, it's got lots of leaves on it, that's often a sign that your plant's really struggling if it's sending up these ones from lower down and the ones at the top are starting to die off. So I really need to bring this back to health. As you can see, it's got lots of old dead leaves on it. Some of them fell off just then as I turned it around. I'm just going to remove the remaining ones just by gently touching them. They'll just fall off by themselves pretty much. So that's cleared up those stems. Now, so another sign that it's not doing well is the leaves are very thin. So you can see these leaves here are very thin, and they're also going slightly wrinkly. That's a sign that it doesn't have enough water. So I haven't been watering this regularly enough, and the whole thing's really struggling for water, so it's having to pull out the water reserves from its leaves just to survive. And that's another thing that can cause it to drop a lot of leaves and only have a few leaves at the top. So the first thing I want to do with this plant is to give it a bit of a prune. What I'm wanting to do is I want to remove those lower shoots. I'm wanting to make a baobab style tree, so a big strong stem and then a really flat kind of growth at the top, with all the branches coming out very flat at the top, so, and growing kind of horizontal. So what I want to do is remove these lower branches and just have that clear stem. So in order for me to get closer access to them, I'll need to take it out of the pot. I'll take off all these dead leaves whilst I'm at it. You can see there's loads of dead leaves there that I've collected over the years, have been falling off. We can see the roots as well. It's extremely pot bound, lots of roots spiraling around the bottom, not much soil in between the roots, and it's just generally not doing well at all. You can see very dry soil. There's a few active roots towards the surface, but generally most of these roots are inactive or dead. I think they are just inactive because it's dry. That has caused them to suffer, not so much overwatering. So they're inactive. These should start growing once they're watered, but there's been no water recently, so they're all brown. The active roots are these ones around here. You can see there's some white tips just starting to show on some of those roots. So they're the actual active ones, but generally this isn't doing well. This should be covered with lots of active roots, but it's only got them in 1 or 2 spots. So a really very stressed plant, and that's mainly because of drought in this instance. So now I've taken it out of the pot, it's easier to do some pruning. So I'm just going to go ahead now. I'm just going to prune off these lower ones. This one needs pruned off right at the bottom. So you can see a lower stem has been pruned previously. So I'm also going to prune this one off, and I'm going to put it right down the very bottom. That's it off now. And then these 2 side branches as well, these also need to be pruned. So just going to go with the secateurs right next to the stem. I'm just going to cut them off. That's the 3 side branches taken off. If I wanted to, I could just put these into soil and start new plants from them. Very easy to take cuttings from jade plants. So now I need to get these repotted into a new pot, but before I do that, I want to take off some of this old soil. It's so sandy and dry, and it's been in the same pot for probably 5 or 10 years, so it's very poor material. Also, there's a lot of salt crust starting to build up, which happens when a plant's been in a pot for too long. So you can see that salt crust there. Basically, it's that kind of white appearance right at the top there. Some of it's a bit yellow as well. That's the sign that you've got a salt crust starting to appear, so that definitely needs to be taken off. So I'm just going to gently tease it off any loose soil, like that. Now the roots are also very congested and intertwined. Now in this instance, because the roots are so pot bound and they're winding around each other, they're never going to come out of that position. If I tease them out, they'll probably just snap. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some root pruning and cut these away. And that will encourage these roots to resprout from further back, and we'll get a lot more finer roots appearing, and the plant will be much healthier in the long run. In the short run, this will be quite damaging to the plant and it will be quite stressed. And what I'll need to do is make sure I'm quite careful with watering for a while whilst it's recovering from this. So I'm just going to go around, trim off all these surface roots which are spiraling around the outside, and that will leave us with a much healthier root system once it regrows. Now, jade plants are very tolerant of root pruning because they store so much water and energy in their stems and leaves. They can handle quite a lot of severe root pruning, which a normal plant wouldn't be able to survive. Also, they're drought tolerant, so the fact that they're getting less water up through their root system isn't such a big problem because they don't have very high demands for water like other houseplants. So that's all the surface roots taken off. As you can see there now, the roots that are left aren't spiraling, they're all sticking out. So when these start to regrow, they're going to be in a much better position and they're going to grow out into the compost. They're not going to remain spiral. If you do come across some really large roots, it's best to leave them though. You don't want to take off the really large roots because then you give a chance that there could be some infection getting into the plant. So that's it done now. The roots are pruned enough. It's time to now repot this plant. So this is the pot I'll be using. Now this is the pot I used to use for my old jade plant until it got its upgraded pot, so it works really well for jade plants. I like this one in particular because it's got kind of a Chinese or kind of Asian style with the bamboo drawings on the side, and it works really well for jade plants because it's quite heavy, it's terracotta. So with this jade plant, especially as it's going to be like a baobab tree, it's going to be very top heavy. There's going to be a lot of weight at the top, so it really needs a heavy pot to keep it stabilised. And we also need a bigger pot just to give it the vigour so I can get it to grow quickly. You can grow jade plants large in a small pot, but it just takes a very long time. So I'll go ahead now and I'll get this repotted. So the growing mix I'm using is multi-purpose compost based, but there's a lot of perlite added for extra drainage, and there's also a bit of my own topsoil, which is a sandy topsoil, so it's going to be well drained. I find that although jade plants are succulents and they do need well drained compost, if you give them a richer mix they do grow much faster and they are generally healthier. You just have to be more careful with the watering and ensure that it really does dry out in between watering. So I go ahead now and check the height, and I'll just fill it up with a bit more compost so it's at the correct height. I just want the compost just around the level that it was previously, so we're probably looking at around about that height there. And I'm just going to gently firm it in to make sure there's no air pockets, and also to make sure that it's stable. Being quite a small root system with a large top heavy plant, it will be quite unstable, so just want to firm it in to make sure it's secure. I don't want to firm it in too hard though, because if you firm it in too hard you reduce all the air spaces and then you'll get waterlogging problems and much more chance that the roots might rot off. So I'm also just going to make sure it's a nice straight stem, as it's going to be in this pot for a while, and this will probably be its final pot. I'm not expecting to need to really repot this again, especially if I'm going to keep it more like a bonsai and keep it well pruned. So that's the jade plant now repotted into its new pot. What I'm going to do now is I'm not going to water it for about a week or two, because I've done a lot of root pruning and because I've got some stems very close to the compost. There's a real risk that it can get a rot in it or an infection in the root system, and if the rot then starts in the roots it can travel to the base of the plant and kill the whole plant. So I really need to make sure it has the time for those cuts to callus over and heal before I start watering. Now, being a jade plant, it's very drought tolerant and it can survive a long time without water, so although I might lose 1 or 2 leaves in this stage, it shouldn't be a big problem. It will definitely recover. So after a few weeks of being dry, I'll start watering it. I'll be very careful with the watering though. When you're repotting a jade plant to a much larger pot than it was previously, most of that soil doesn't have roots in it, so that soil is going to stay wet a long time in between waterings, so it'll be a very easy plant to overwater. So what I'll need to do is I need to make sure I just water it a very small amount, just enough to allow the new roots to grow into the compost, but not too much that it doesn't dry out rapidly before I water it again. So I'll be very careful with the watering. Once I start getting some really good growth from the top, that will show that the roots have established well, and then I can water it more thoroughly. So that's it for this part of the video. I'll see you in a few months' time. Hopefully we'll get a lot more growth on the plant. We'll probably get some back budding potentially as well, as it's going to be much happier with that larger root system. But if we don't have back budding, then I'll encourage some more back budding so we can then go ahead with the next stage of transforming this into more like a Baobab style tree. So that's all for now. I'll see you guys in a month or two's time and we'll see how it's progressing. So it's now 8 months later and I'd like to show you how the plant has progressed. As you can see, there's been quite a lot of growth. Most of this growth actually only occurred in the last 2 months. It's currently April and I videoed it in July, so it really was getting its roots established for the first few months. After the roots were established, it then took a little while because it was over the winter time, so it didn't grow much. But for the last month or so, we've had some good light levels and quite rapid growth. So as you can see, it's reacted by sending out lots of back budding and growth from lower down. So this all needs to be cleared to create that Baobab effect. And we're going to be doing a bit of pruning here. So ideally, I'd like a long clear stem and then lots of shoots coming out at the top, coming out horizontally and then growing up to create that Baobab style. So although I quite like the look of how it is at the moment, what we will need to do is remove most of this upper growth to produce that Baobab style. So I'm going to get my secateurs now and we'll start clearing this up, getting it ready to look really like a Baobab in the future. So I'm going to start off by removing all these shoots. Some of the smallest ones are quite soft still and I'll just pull them off by hand like this. But the thicker ones I'll need to use secateurs on. I tend to find if they're quite young, they pull off by hand quite easily and you actually get a cleaner cut because of it. And if you use secateurs, it kind of breaks off closer. But if it's slightly larger ones, you are best using secateurs. So we'll just clear the lower stem now. So that's the lower stem now cleared of growth. You can see we have got a bit of taper going on. We don't actually want taper in this instance because Baobabs have very straight stems. Normally when you're doing a bonsai, you want a bit of taper where it gets thicker at the bottom. But for Baobab, we're actually wanting a very straight stem with a similar width the whole way up. So what we want to do now is encourage lots of growth at the same level. So this is going to look extremely drastic and you'll probably think I've killed the plant, but this is what I need to do to get all this shoots coming out from lower down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut all the growth down to this point here. So it's very drastic. I'm just cutting between the nodes, but just above a node. That way we don't have any of the dieback. If I was to cut this branch, for example, just below the node here, this whole section here would die off and it would just resprout from here. So that's why I need to cut it slightly lower down. So I'm just going for a cut at the same height. So here, for example, this node here is a similar height to this one. So I can actually leave these two little bits of growth coming out there. And then this side, I'm just going to cut it off at this point. So extremely dramatic, I know, but this is what I need to do to get the initial framework ready for the Baobab. So the plant now is a really healthy, well, before I cut it anyway, it was a very healthy plant. It had a good strong root system, plenty of pot space and lots of top growth that was growing nice and healthily. So there's a lot of energy still stored in the stem here. What this plant will do now is send out loads of new growth from around the top. It also might send out some growth from the main trunk as well. What I will do is remove any of this new growth as soon as I see it and encourage all the growth to happen at the top. It will then branch out quite nicely. I'll probably nip off some of the tips. So for example, like this one here, I'll just nip off the tips as they come out to encourage further branching on the plant. So that's all for this part of the video. A very dramatic update, but what we'll see, as I say, in a few months' time is a massive amount of regrowth, lots of new branches coming from here, and then we can start to train that in to the Baobab branch structure. So it's been nearly a year since the last update, and as you can see we have a decent amount of growth, not a huge amount of growth for a year, but I think I haven't been watering it enough or feeding it enough to get maximum growth, but it's looking pretty good anyway, and it's now ready for some pruning to make it look more like a Baobab. So with that hard prune, what it's done is it's put out multiple shoots from every single cut, and so we've got a really dense branch structure now, and this gives us plenty of options to choose from when it comes to training in new branches for the Baobab. So with a Baobab, most species of Baobab, you tend to have a long, thick stem. Some of them are shorter and fatter, but we're going to go for like the taller variety of Baobab. And then what you have is all the branches come out at the top and they kind of come out horizontally and then they come up at the ends and they have a little bit of foliage at the end. So that's what we're going to go for here. We're trying to get all the horizontals and reduce and remove any of the verticals. So I'm just going to get my secateurs. What I want to do is find any shoots that are coming up vertically, and I'm just going to cut them back. I'm not going to completely remove them for now because it might be good to have them to sprout in the future so that it has a nice full canopy at the top and it doesn't just have a ring of leaves at the edge. So any of them that are more vertical, I'm just going to cut back, but not so hard that it can't resprout. And the rest of the horizontals I'm going to leave, allow them to grow more. Because jade plants have quite heavy foliage, they tend to lean the branches down over time, and they should naturally start to curve down. If they don't, I will put some kind of string or some kind of weight on them to help them to go down, because they do like to grow up and then down. So if they start going up before they go down, I might need to do that. It also depends how leggy your plant is. If you have a very leggy plant, they naturally start drooping. If it's in full sun like this one is, they don't tend to droop as easily. So I just need to watch out for that. So as I say, I'll just give these a prune now, and that's looking quite good already. So I'm quite happy with that. So all I need to do now, let this grow a little bit more, and then I'll need to start thinking about maybe getting some wires or some kind of weights to weigh these down to get that more horizontal structure. But anyway, that's the beginning of my Baobab journey. I think I will finish the video here, and I'll see you guys in a year or two's time with another update. But for now, that's the transformation from that really tall, straggly looking jade plant into a really healthy jade plant, which is just starting to look like a Baobab. But as I say, it's just the beginning of the journey, but it will take a few years to get this into a Baobab style jade plant bonsai.